Well, Virgin and Qantas have opposed compensation for passengers due to flight cancellations. In Monday's public hearing, which is examining the need for increased consumer protection, the coalition proposed a pay-on-delay bill. The bill would be a similar model to that underway in the European Union. Joining us is aviation writer at The Australian, Robyn Ironside. Robyn, really appreciate your time. Thank you. We all know just how annoying it is to have a flight cancelled. Is there a need, do you think, for greater consumer protections in this area?
Hi Ash, yes, I do think that there is a need for greater consumer protections, and certainly we've got both sides of the parliament looking at different models. The government has put forward an Aviation Customer Charter of Rights under an ombudsman scheme, whereas the coalition is pushing a harder line pay-on-delay bill, which, as you mentioned, does follow the European Union compensation plan that's got very set guidelines that if your flight is delayed for more than 3 hours, you're entitled to a specific sum of money, and that increases like the more you're delayed. So they're saying that's preferable and airline passengers should have that clarity, whereas the Charter of Rights is, at this stage anyway, quite a bit more vague, and it doesn't really specify exactly what passengers would be entitled to in the event of flight delays and cancellations.
So, Robyn, when you look at that EU model, has it actually resulted in better outcomes for consumers in terms of less flight cancellations? And just take us through why the airlines don't think that model should be applied here.
Well, they argue that it doesn't result in better outcomes for passengers, at least, although I think passengers who have pocketed between $400 and $600 for a delayed flight might argue otherwise. So they're saying that over the years, there wasn't a specified time period, but they say over the course of this scheme, $9 billion has been paid out to passengers. But in that same period, flight cancellations have perhaps worsened. They've even doubled. As well as that, there's the issue of some legal issues with the scheme where airlines don't always agree to pay the sum, and that creates a lot of delays in court. So they've got something like 70,000 cases waiting to be heard in court arising from the scheme. So there certainly are some problems with it.
And reading in your report today, Robyn, it doesn't sound like any of this is going to be fixed or resolved anytime soon. Your report suggested we might not see action on this until 2026. We need to see this Charter of Rights idea firmed up a bit in the meantime, you'd think.
Indeed, yeah, the government's certainly taking its time, given that it was announced in August last year. It took then to December to get the draft Charter of Rights. That's been out for consultation, and they don't expect the legislation to be drafted until the end of the year, so probably won't go to Parliament until 2026, and who knows how long that could take to get through. There's also the issue of a government change. If there is a change of government in May, what that will mean, if that will mean the Charter of Rights is upheld, or if the coalition pushes ahead with its pay-on-delay bill. So there certainly are a few question marks as yet.